So salmon balls are at the very tippy top of the list of the favorite things my family loves for me to make for them. So this is my recipe and I'm so excited to share it with y'all. Okay, so I've taken 3 cans of canned salmon, okay? And then I have taken and drained the juice off of them, and then I have taken all the bones and skin off of the fish. So if you can get past that part, then you'll be good. But I was just gonna show you how I do that. So it'll come like this in the can. You just kind of separate the meat from the bones. I know that sounds really gross. And now you don't have to do this step, I just don't like them in my salmon balls. See, it's got little pieces of bone in it. Let me show you. See, there's the bone. Just take that part off and any skin. Okay, and then once you can get past that step, then this makes the most delicious salmon balls. Okay, so let me show you. So like I said, there's 3 cans, and I just make sure that it's all kind of chopped up, okay? And then to that, I'm gonna add a 1/2 cup of mayo, a teaspoon of Old Bay Cajun seasoning, a 1/2 cup of Italian breadcrumbs, 1 egg, and the juice of 1/2 of a lemon. I've just been making these for years. And really you could use fresh salmon for this, but I've just always made it with the can, and like I said, my family loves it. Okay, so we'll get that good and mixed up. Oh, I forgot. So you're gonna grate at least a 1/2 cup of onion. And I grate the onion in because whenever you fry it, it's not gonna take very long to fry the salmon balls, and you don't want chunks of onion in your salmon ball, or at least I don't. So I grate it. Okay, get that stirred up. These are just delicious. Okay, so then I take a plate and I put Italian breadcrumbs on it, and I'm gonna roll it into like 1-inch balls, and then I roll it around in the breadcrumbs like that. Let me show you another one. Okay, so I've got those done. I'm gonna get the rest of these done, and I'm gonna show you how I get it fried up. Okay, so now what I do to see if my oil's ready is I always take a little piece of the whatever I'm frying, and I drop it in the oil, and see how it just automatically starts bubbling and frying. That means it's ready. Now, if you like drop it in, it just kind of sinks to the bottom and barely bubbles, let it heat a little more. Okay, so what I do is just drop them in. I've probably got about a 1/2 inch of oil or so in the pan. And you're gonna probably wanna do this in just a couple batches because you don't wanna overcrowd your pan. And these cook really quick, okay? Because the meat really doesn't have to get done in it. There is a little egg in it, but by the time this cooks, it'll be plenty enough done. Okay. So like I said, you can use fresh salmon with this, just chop it really fine, like with this recipe, but I just always use the can. Okay, so I'm gonna let this cook just a few more minutes until it's really golden on this side. Okay, I've let these cook until they've gotten golden brown, about halfway up. Okay, and then these are very delicate to turn, so I always use a spoon to turn them instead of like a spatula. And you can really use any canned fish for this recipe. Like my mom always cooked mackerel. and she made mackerel patties. And you can also make patties out of this recipe and do like salmon patty sandwiches. Okay, so I've got those flipped. I'm gonna let them get just as brown on this side. I'm gonna cook up the rest, and then I'll show you how I make my tartar sauce. Okay, now that I've got them all fried up, let me show you how I make my Cajun tartar sauce. So I've got 2 cups of mayo, and I like to use Hellmann's, okay? And then to that, I'm gonna add a 1/2 cup of dill relish. Now, if you prefer sweet relish, you can use that, but I prefer dill. And then a 1/2 cup of grated onion. So I just grated that other part of that onion that I used. Okay, and then the juice of 1/2 of a lemon. Okay, a little salt, a little pepper, and then about a teaspoon of Old Bay seasoning. Let me grab that. Okay. And that's just a simple tartar sauce. You don't have to put the Cajun seasoning in it if you don't like, but I like mine a little spicy. Okay. All right, now let me show you these salmon balls. They're just crispy, and in the inside they are really tender. Okay. And then I like to eat them with either ketchup or a little tartar sauce. That's delicious. Just reminds me of summer. So this is my recipe for my salmon balls. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know how you love it in the comments.